So congrats first and foremost on all the recent news, right? These are huge moves to be making.
Yep, thanks.
So what's really behind ESPN's doubling down on esports this year in specific?
First of all, thanks for you guys having me, and congrats on your success as well.
Thank you.
We're
Thank you.
a big fan of Cheddar, and you guys are doing a great job here. So thanks
Thank
for continuing to push.
Of course.
You guys are doing great. I mean, it's pretty simple. I mean, we've been at ESPN involved in esports for a really long time, at least in esports world, right? So since 2014, streaming live events. And we've just progressively gotten more and more interested in the space as we've seen feedback from fans and usage and what have you. So what we're doing now is really just a natural progression. We're really excited about the EXP, really excited about lining it up against big events that are already on our air, and trying to introduce esports to the fan base that's already on ESPN, but then get the ESPN fan base to sort of understand and appreciate the category of esports a little bit more.
Absolutely.
So tell us a little bit more about the Pro Am that's going to be happening at the ESPYS. Like, what is the format going to be looking like, and then who can we expect to actually be there?
So I can't break any news on the show.
Oh, no.
I apologize.
We tried.
And I've got a great team of folks at home in Bristol right now, and actually across the country working on pulling it all together right now. I can tell you that it's going to be, celebrity based format, really fun sort of night, trying to sort of again softly introduce esports and the Apex title to a broader audience, and a fun night, just like the ESPY Awards is a fun night and a celebration of sports. It should be a fun night and a celebration of esports, and actually really showcase folks that are actually on the field playing stick and ball sports that are passionate about esports and playing games. We think that's really important to the folks that are coming to ESPN for sports content every day.
Right.
We're really excited about it.
Yeah, it's definitely exciting, and I want to hit on that later on in this interview because there were some things in the press release that I really want to talk about. But you've also added the new category to the ESPYs this year.
Yeah.
Best esports moment. So what was the process behind choosing this category, choosing the things, the plays, the moments that led into it, and what is the vision behind bringing it to more eyes?
Yeah, so, like I said before, ESPYs is a fun night in sports, right? And that does not exclude esports. We look at esports as sports, and it's just, again, a natural progression of us, recognizing, with the esports as just like you would baseball, football, et cetera. And so this whole thing came together as it's about 16, I think, event moments that we came up with, really tapping into our editorial team that came up with this, and now the fans are going to be able to vote over the next couple of weeks leading up, and we'll give the award out on the red carpet right before the ESPY Awards. And this is a moment that's we're gonna look back at in a couple of years and be really proud of.
Yeah, I saw the ways you guys are doing it as well. It seems to be set up in a bracket once again. As we had, I think you guys were running a similar bracket style system earlier in the year, and all the moments are good. You got Sonic Fox switching sides, you got O'Leary returning back to competition, as well as so many highlights stacked up in those 16 moments.
Yeah, so hopefully everybody's proud of the choices that we came up with. I know the folks worked really hard on coming up with that, and we're looking forward to seeing everybody's votes come in.
Yeah, we're definitely looking forward to the format you guys are going to be developing for the ESPYs, but then also X Games too. Like, let's talk about that.
That's
why
crazy.
is esports a good fit for the X Games, and also why specifically Apex?
Yeah, so Apex, look, I mean, we have a great partnership with EA. The Apex title is clearly on fire right now. It was just great timing, and we have a great relationship with them. So the moon's really aligned for both of us to bring this together. And X Games, actually, we've been doing esports at X Games for a while.
It's been a 3-year hiatus, though, so why the return?
Yeah, so look, as we push a little bit more forward here and come up with this EXP event-based format, no place more natural than the places that we're already doing, these stand-up, organic events. And the X Games audience is clearly younger, more diverse, very much correlated and overlapping with the esports audience. And we think it's just a natural place for us to do it.
And adding on to that, how are you guys going to handle this? Like, we've seen esports competitions that have been on TV, and for some people, it didn't quite resonate with them. They're like, why is there esports on my TV show? What is going on? So how are you guys going to handle that kind of like crossover and getting some of the viewers from ESPN to be comfortable with seeing esports on the network and everything like that?
Yeah, we think that the time, so we did this, I'll get the year wrong, but when we put the Heroes of the Dorm title up on TV, we got it was a weird moment, because it was oh my God, why is esports on TV? Or what are you doing, ESPN? How come my baseball game's not on? But then it was also like, wow, people really care about what we're doing at any moment of the day. It was on ESPN2. There was a Yankee game on ESPN, so why did people care so much? But we think, since then till now, we believe sort of the ice is thawed there, and there's a larger appreciation. We're doing a ton of stuff, over the past year, even putting Overwatch World League on ABC.
Yeah, it's been insane. So it's like, also talk to us about, like in the press release, right? It details that you guys are going to be creating after the fact, after the actual event takes place, packages, timelines, and storyboarding it out for that audience to develop and digest. Do you think that's going to be the move forward to really make that crossover happen?
Yeah, I believe so. So we think that there's two components here. Right? You need to serve the core audience the way that they expect to be served, the way they expect to actually consume that event. We're not going to do anything different there.
Right.
But then when we're talking to a more casual audience or an audience that's just coming to the sport, they need to better understand what's going on the screen. So our goal here is, based off of the platform that we're programming the content on, we'll adjust the production to make sure that that the audience that we think we're reaching at that point has the best opportunity to actually enjoy the content.
Absolutely.
And so in terms of reaching that audience and making sure that content is fitting into what they're accustomed to when it comes to ESPN. Have you guys also engaged with some of the like the professional teams that you guys have relationships with? Like Complexity is associated with Dallas Cowboys, and there's other pro teams that are associated with esports teams. Have there been any kind of like dialogue or conversations when it comes to like, okay, how can we better fit our esports content into the fans who are like the Dallas Cowboys fans, the Sixers fans, and et cetera?
Yeah, we haven't gotten that far, but I can tell you that all of those types of ideas and conversations are beginning to happen. Because the conversion is happening right before our eyes. You just mentioned it.
Right.
Sports teams, sports franchises are now evolving into esports teams and esports franchises. And as that continues to happen, ESPN, we expect to continue to be there as we have been in other sport categories. So expect that stuff to manifest over time.
Right, and we talk about pioneering into delivering content that's consumable to both consumers and people who are akin to the content naturally. But now let's shift focus to the collegiate scene, right? Because earlier this year you had activations in Houston, and everyone was really into it because it seemed like, we wanted official support from like the NCAA or something. We wanted a legitimate organization to be like, here's your league, enjoy it. But we never saw that kind of support come out. We actually saw the opposite from the NCAA. They doubled down on their stance against esports, and that's where really ESPN came in with their Collegiate Esports Championship. So what are your plans for the future for the collegiate scene?
Yeah, so the plans aren't defined yet, but I could tell you that we're not going to move away from college esports. It's just too natural for what we do. The amount of college sports and what ESPN means to college sports more generally. It's going to apply here in the esports space. We're really happy with what happened at the CEC, and we're going to make plans to do that again next year. Maybe different format, maybe different titles. A lot of things might change, but just call it an evolution, and we'll learn more and hopefully expand more. So we're excited about the college space for sure.
Well, we're very much interested in that space, and also interested in seeing how you guys expand within the esports space.
Thank you.
John, thank you so much for joining us.
Of course, thanks for having me, guys. I appreciate it.
No problem. It's super great. It's super great to see a lot of like mainstream platforms that are getting into this scene a lot more.
Great. Thank you.
No problem.